Welcome to another episode of Films with Farrell. Excited to be doing this one here today, guys. We will be getting into the new Batman movie. Okay, it's not Batman, it's not The Dark Knight. We are talking about the Batman. That's right. It's like he went to Ohio State and all of a sudden really just classed it up 1,000%. Very excited for this review. Just got done seeing the movie. Can't wait to talk about it. And before we go any deeper, there won't be spoilers. These are just my honest thoughts towards the movie. So if you're looking for spoilers, look elsewhere. We're just talking about the good old-fashioned movie itself. Riddle me this. Before you watch the movie, will Robert Pattinson be better than George Clooney? Oh my God, 100% yes. Welcome to Films with Farrell. Enjoy the show. All right, folks, before we get this party started, I'm going to need you to hit the like and subscribe button. Stay up to date on all things Films with Farrell. Well, 3 hours later, and we are done. That is all she wrote. If you're thinking about checking out this movie, if you're on the fence, you need to get your ass to the movie theater and check this out now. Sidebar, if you're looking in the Youngstown area, very disappointed by Tinseltown, owned by AMC. No heated seat warmers in those movie theaters. So I was kind of surprised by that because my typical movie theaters where I'm at, I get my little heat warmer right there. The ass stays warm the entire time. Makes for a more pleasant viewing experience. Folks, I can't say enough good things about this movie. It's a darker Batman than we're used to. It's a more grungier Batman than we're used to. Now, when we look at the Christopher Nolan films, one thing that Nolan really did well is introducing the supervillain characters, okay? Now, you have Bruce Wayne, you have a good story, but the supervillain characters, whether it be Ra's al Ghul, the Joker, Bane, even Catwoman, it's some good development within those super villains, right? They're on screen a lot. There's a lot of development right there. They're scary as shit. This one didn't have as much of that. I did absolutely love the supporting cast, though. You had Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. Thought she did a great job. Could have used a little bit more storyline in there. Thought she did good, though. Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant Gordon. Not even commissioner yet, but Jeffrey Wright, loved him in the Westworld. Love him as Commissioner Gordon. That is now my new Commissioner Gordon. Gary Oldman, I'm sorry. Jeffrey Wright is my boy. You have Paul Dano as the Riddler. A little psychotic, not a ton of screen time. When he's in there, he was good. Paul Dano, it's crazy. He was in a movie called The Girl Next Door back like a long, long time ago. And it's crazy that he's now in a Batman movie, right? Colin Farrell, almost unrecognizable as Oz. We know him as the Penguin. Thought he did a great job in this role as well. A lot different than the Penguin that we're used to in terms of Batman Returns. Then you had Andy Serkis as Alfred. With this Alfred, it was a lot different than the Alfred that we're used to seeing on the screen. Not a lot of screen time. And, I'm sorry, no disrespect to Mr. Serkis, but give Michael Caine up a call. He's not busy. Throw him in as Alfred. The man was made to play that role. But, nonetheless, I thought could have used a little bit more Alfred because what is a Bruce Wayne without Alfred, right? Speaking of Bruce Wayne, Robert Pattinson, fantastic job. When I sat here and I did my top 5 Batman list, I did not even think that he was going to crack the top 3. I am ready to put him at the number 1 spot. I liked him in that performance so much. Again, it's a lot darker Batman. Again, dark, grungy, like we talked about with the whole story. Years ago, Michael Keaton was talking about how it's hard to play Batman opposite the supervillains. Because with the supervillains, you could just be... you could be fucking crazy if you want to, right? You have so much more range, whereas Bruce Wayne is really calm, cool, and collected, and he just stays the same throughout. Pattinson changed the game, okay? He's a learning Batman 2 years into it, and it's just, it's a lot different because it's a lot darker. He's just doing things a lot differently than the traditional Batman, so he's able to just take on a whole different Bruce Wayne dynamic, which I absolutely loved.
I'm vengeance.
So again, looking at a runtime of 3 hours, and I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but it did not lag at all. There was a great story that really progressed from beginning, middle to end that made it, you were just left there just watching this masterpiece for 3 hours, and you didn't even know that it was actually 3 hours, which was crazy. Interesting note, how many bad guys were actually introduced in this movie? So you had the Penguin, you had the Riddler, and then you also had Falcone, okay? Falcone talked about a little bit more in depth in the Batman Begins Batman, but it was interesting to see that we actually went with 3 bad guys, because typically it's usually a good roll 2. Last time I think there was actually a solid 3. You have Batman and Robin with Bane, Mr. Freeze, and Poison Ivy. We know how that went. So really interesting that we introduced these 3 bad guys. Again, not a ton of screen time because we're mainly focused on Batman developing his skills, learning his skills. I'm very interested to see where this trilogy goes, or where Batman steers off next. Again, folks, we are looking at a totally different Batman than we've ever seen before. If you were on the fence about thinking about seeing this movie, you need to see this movie. If you're just a lover of film, check out this movie. It was beautifully done. As I mentioned, Robert Pattinson did a hell of a job as the lead, Bruce Wayne / Batman, right? Supporting cast, which we already talked about, fantastic. Soundtrack, Nirvana pumping in a Batman movie, let's go. You had that, just the way the scenes progressed, the way the scenes were shot. This was a feature film of cinematic proportion.
Any of this mean anything to you?
All right, of just beautiful cinematic proportion. I can't believe that I'm saying this about a Batman movie. We knew that it was going to be different, right? Just from the trailer, at least the trailer that I did see, just like the movie posters, right? It had kind of like that edge to it, but this movie was just absolutely great. Again, different and different. I can't believe I'm actually going to be saying this, but if we were categorizing the Batman movies, so Batman Rises was always at the top of my list. I liked The Dark Knight Rises rather a lot better than The Dark Knight. No disrespect to Heath Ledger, I just thought that the trilogy was really capped off perfectly. I am putting The Batman as my top Batman movie. All right, and for a Batman guy, tattoo, there we go. To say something like that, I did not go into this movie, The Batman, thinking any of this, which absolutely blows my mind, folks. You need to go check out this movie. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. If you're not a superhero fan, that's okay, because you walk into a great movie and it just happens to be a Batman movie. It's my kind of perfect synopsis. You know, you're going to look at a great film, and Bruce Wayne, Batman, the Penguin, and all of them just happen to be in it. So again, if you're on the fence, you need to check this movie out. I can't get over how good this actually was. Yeah, it was a fucking Batman movie.
Whoa! This guy's crazy!
Would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below on what your thoughts were on this Batman. Where does it rank up on the list of your Batman movies? Where does Robert Pattinson rank up on your list of Batman? As I mentioned, this is a spoiler-free review, so we're not going to get all too deep into it. Not that there's actually a ton of spoilers to even be had, but don't want to ruin it for somebody who's still kind of on the fence to watch it. But would love to hear from the Batman fans below in the comment section what you guys thought of the movie. Who was your favorite character? Let's just talk all things Batman, guys. Again, best Batman movie I've seen, and I just still can't believe that I'm saying that. Appreciate the love on this one, guys. Feel free, again, hit the like, subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on the Batman movie. Stay up to date on all things Films with Farrell. Until next time, we'll be seeing you.